Hey guys, alright, it's time to test out the Vega at home here. This is a CVE-10 1000 watt D-class power. It has a DSP system in it, so it has like club mode, live mode, flat response, etc. Now, for this video, I'm going to go through probably a couple of the modes. Maybe I'll go through them all. But I got it set on the club right now, and I find it actually has the best sound working with a drum kit over all of them. The flat one actually isn't bad either, but the club one does sound the best. These are pre-programmed DSP driven EQ presets, and there's 5 total. And of course you can pair your Bluetooth device with this, play music through it, play along with it, jam with it with your instruments. Now, being this is a PA speaker, it can handle drum kits without any problem at any volume level, and you're not going to hurt anything or blow anything up. It also can go on a stand pole, right? I've got it just on an angled amp stand, and works quite well for that. I just got to figure out where I'm going to set it up in here permanently. But it does have its own wedge design for on-the-floor use. It may end up there yet too. By having 2 channels in this thing, for input, I can plug in my sample pad 4 as well as my Elysius Nitro drum kit at the same time and have them at the same levels, different levels, whatever I want to do. It also has a line out on it, so I can go right into my mixing board via XLR, which is also awesome. Now the inputs on this are for the input is XLR or 1/4 inch TR or TRS connections. And of course your TRS is always the best way to go if you can, because it's going to give you a little bit more output and a cleaner, more balanced signal. So I'm going to actually try a TRS cable on this, because if I remember correctly, I do have a spare one around here. If not, I guess I'll be going back to Long McQuaid tomorrow for another TRS cable. But that's not a big deal. It's worth the investment. But anyway, so I'm going to start it with drum kit number 1 on this, and we're going to see what it sounds like. Now I have the volume at 3/4 of the way up on the amp itself, okay, on the powered speaker, and I have my kit at approximately half. Now my kit is velocity, so I can hit it and really pound it through. Try another kit. Okay, so let's go through the modes here. I'm just going to get in the way of the camera for a second. So let's start at the very top. Now this is called live, and what you heard was club. And then we'll skip over to the other 3 because you've already heard the club. So this is live. Start out with kit number 1. So this one here, this is going to be flat. Now how things are going to sound to you are going to depend on the sound settings you have for your kit, how much throaty bass you want, and all that other jazz, right? And the volume level of your pads too for max out. Okay, so let's try the next one. This one is called Voice. And start back at kit 1. Okay, let's go to, I believe it will be the last one. And that's called Monitor. So this is just as a monitor EQ setting. And we'll go back to kit number 1. Okay, so I only have my preamp on my kit at half because I'm driving the speaker at 3/4. So how much full out of that massive 1,000 watts you really get will depend a lot upon your settings of your device that you're plugged into instrument wise. So bass, mid, treble levels of each, you know, in the case of a drum kit, and volume levels of your pads, etc., will also affect the preamp output on the overall spectrum, okay, of how much real output you get in the real world. But either way, I mean, I cranked this thing up in the store and oh my gosh, it was like boom. But I was playing on a Yamaha kit, and we tried the Yamaha at lesser volume and at full volume, and etc. And it was pretty bloody obnoxious in the store, let me tell you. So I thought, yeah, I'm in. Yeah, definitely. And things do sound differently at home as they would at the store. One of your big differences, of course, is how much preamp power your module on your drum kit is actually pushing through this speaker. The same goes for any of your other devices too, like if you're going to plug a mic in, a guitar, etc. The nice thing about a PA system speaker, number one, you can hook it up to a mixing board and plug a whole whack load of stuff in and have only one input going into this thing. But you do have two inputs on this one, so you can actually just use two inputs, guitar and vocal, drum and a guitar, whatever, keyboard guitar, keyboard drums, whatever. It's any combination you want within the two ports, or get yourself a small mixer, hook up a lot more stuff, and have this even as a mono system for, you know, small venues, medium-sized venues. I mean, it's got 1,000 watts. If you can't do a mid-sized venue, well, something's wrong. Now, the clarity is very, very good. The EQ settings for presets that they have are nice. I personally prefer the club setting for the drum kit. I find that has the best mix of bass, mids, and trebles for that EQ setup that they've done with it. This thing does have a maximum dB level of 124 decibels, which is enough to blow your hearing apart, and then some. The dispersion angle, of course, as stated on the sticker there, is actually 90 degrees wide dispersion, and you have two channel line-ins, mic mixer type of deal. You have a line out so that you can go line out to a mixing board, so you can use this as a stage monitor for your drums and have line out to a board, right? Or you can use it in conjunction with even a second powered PA and go stereo for left and right, so one input per powered speaker, go through the mixer, then plug your drums and everything else through the mixing board, and then your drums can get further preamped even more so for even more output to this speaker, because you have an extra amount of gain preamp through a mixing board, so you can really boost things up. So to get the actual full out potential power unlocked out of this speaker, I would probably recommend hooking it up to a PA mixer, even if you're going to go mono with just the one speaker, and then plug your drum kit and your other instruments right into the mixing board and have a separate gain for your drum kit in this case, because the preamp in the Alesis kit is not as strong as the preamp in the Yamahas, at least not the newer Yamahas. But this is the Alesis Nitro, so the Forge obviously would have probably a little bit stronger preamp in it. There is a slight difference between the sample pad 4 that I have from Alesis and my drum kit, and so there is a little bit of output difference between them, not by much, but you can hear the difference on the same settings. But I have the ability that what I'm going to end up doing, because I don't need 1,000 watts in this room blaring out of my head, but I do need a fair amount of power regardless, and I want that crystal clear power at the same time. I'm actually going to plug my sample pad into one port, my kit into the other, run the power levels at 3/4, and then control them from the sample pad and the main pre on my drum kit. And my pre on my drum kit right now is only at half. You know, so if I turn it up even more, it's going to get very, very obnoxious in here. And yeah, it's going to just like pound the crap out of everything. So yeah, that's pretty impressive. I would definitely rate this thing at a 4.5 out of 5. You know, and it's not just because it's Cerwin Vega and I love Cerwin Vega. It's the fact that it has power. and power to spare. It's got a lot of headroom available to it. You know, it's a very nice package for what they give you is a lot. It even has Bluetooth connectivity, so you can, you know, go Bluetooth from your iPad or your Android device or whatever and play music through it wirelessly, even through your phone. You can go Bluetooth wireless that way, and it has its own separate control for that as well, separate from the input. So you have full total control. It's like having like a 3-channel mixing system, essentially. You know, you got your Bluetooth device, and then you've got your 2 main inputs, which are combination XLR or TR-TRS plug-in. I would definitely go with the TRS. I'm running just a straight amp cord that's a TR. A TRS will give me a little bit more output, even at the same volume, and clean it up even more. You know, so I'm definitely going to look at getting into a TRS to XLR cable, or even a TRS to TRS. Turns out my other ones, I think, are both in use, if I remember right. So I'll just go buy another one. It's no big deal. And then this way I can have TRS coming out of my sample pad and my drum kit. And then I'll get the stronger, cleaner signal through both. So anyways, my opinion is just that. I think it's a great speaker. If you're going to buy a pair of these and hook them into a PA, all the power to you. Very awesome system. It's going to really handle a lot and push a lot. You can drive any instrument you want. You can even plug a bass guitar directly into this thing and not hurt it. You can't plug a bass guitar into a regular guitar amp without cooking it over time. And some amps will cook even faster. But you can certainly plug a bass guitar direct into this if you wanted to. Regular electric guitar, acoustic electric guitar, whatever kind of mic system that you need to be able to use. That'll actually, phantom power, no. You'd have to actually run a mixing board in and then run a phantom powered mic. But a regular passive mic, no problem at all for direct in. So if you're thinking about even doing like coffee shops and stuff, and you just need a mic and a guitar, you got 2 inputs, one for each, boom. Then they have their separate levels. You can adjust your mix accordingly, get a nice balanced, perfect mix, and away you go. You know, or whatever combination you want to do. It has a lot of potential there. And at $549 Canadian along McQuaid, great deal. Very happy. So do check out the link in the video description below for this to be able to purchase it at Long McQuaid, either online or go into your nearest store if you have one near you. They've got like 80 of them in Canada. If you're not in Canada, feel free to go on Amazon or your local music stores that may carry this if you're interested in the Cerwin Vega CVE-10 powered loudspeaker. It's a great speaker, definitely well worth the money in my opinion. I have no qualms about it at all. So anyways, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys in the next video. See ya.